the ice off of the fish. And there you are. And now what happens is underneath each one of these scales is water, and you want to get that out. So before you start, you really want to run in the direction of the scales. And that gets you a drier fish. So when it sits here, it's not going to slide all around. No, I got it. Now the difficult thing is I do it left-handed, so you're going to have to transfer in your mind to the right side. Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to cut through here. And then you have this open flap. Okay, now essentially what we're going to do is we're going to go in and ride down the backbone until we go past this fin. And a lot of people will fillet and just go right on off from there. But what you end up doing is the bone, the center bone, becomes more prominent as you go this way. And if you take that stroke, you'll leave a lot of meat on the bone. So my technique is to go in there, bring it to here, and drop it, and just cut the bottom of the fish to the backbone, up one side, down the other, and off. Let me just show you that. There I am. I'm on the backbone right now. And again, you'll see when I take the side off that this knife is going perpendicular to the bones that I'm looking for. So here I am to here. Now what I want to do is come down and do the bottom half. I lift back up, I go up one side, down the other, through and off. So what I've done here, that knife has come all the way down here. I could have done just a little bit better there, but it came all the way down here to here. And then I dropped the knife down to below the center bone and got all this. And I cut up one side, down the other, through and off. So there's very little meat left right there.
So you do that bottom part and then you start peeling it with your knife away? Kind of like that? So how you went under the bottom and then you peeled it up?
Okay, it came all the way along here. Okay, got here. Then I pull it out, but then you still keep touch with the end of the knife on the bone. And you try to cut along here. Take that swipe right along the bottom there. And then you lift the fillet, cut up one side, down the other, through and off. Let's see. The other thing I do at this point is I take that meat off. The spoon is a real handy thing to do it with. And now you don't have any meat on the bone at all. So again, the cut was in and around down to here. Then you come right along here. See, these bones are going this way. The knife is running perpendicular to it. You get past the fin, you pull it out, and you kind of drop down and try to get this lower part as best you can. And it's up one side, down the other, through and off. Okay, we'll come back to this. Now the next trick is you flip it over, and you want to take that cut. Now this is the next part of the trick. Is what we want to do is cut up against the bone that is there, but underneath. And when you come up against the bone, you'll come out here to this fin. And you can't come straight off. You got to come up to it and turn the knife away. Here, let me make this cut here initially. Here I am. Okay, now I've come up with, you can't actually come all the way out. You got to turn the knife away. Now let's see, come over here. So you'll see, right here, the fin is thicker on the skin side than it is underneath. So as you come up against it, you got to turn your knife away to get past that fin. All these fins are the same way. I got that far. And now, here. Okay, now I've gone all the way I can with the knife this way. You turn the knife over and you come back to the center bone. That brings you right here. Now when you get to this point, I'm cutting the thin bones. They come right off the top of this bone. So I've done that, and now I've cut all the way to the center bone. Now I'm turning the knife over underneath, and I'm cutting again perpendicular to these bones. Just consider that half. And the other thing is you use your hand. The only time you really cut against your hand is you got the bones between you. So you're pushing the bones against the knife. Okay, now I've cut about halfway down. And here I am coming up on those fin bones, through and out. Okay, it's the same thing. I'm up against those fin bones. I can't get completely out. I got to turn a little bit away. Okay, now here you are with the belly bones. This is where the money's made. You want to bring a little tension on the carcass and just start taking swipes with your knife up against those bones. Now when you get up here, these are more prominent in the meat. So you end up with even a little more meat on that bone. But there we go. Now I haven't gone all the way to the end of these bones because they get really thin. Then your knife will cut the bone and leave a little piece in the flesh. So you have this flap here, and you just you pull them off. There you go. And now there's no bones left there. To make your fillet look nice, you always stroke it back. It cleans up a pretty fillet. Now actually up here I missed some of these bones, so you're going to come back and get them again. Essentially that's it. If you leave the wing on, it's easier to handle the fish, but that's an easy thing to take off too. Now, set that over there. Let me go back to this one. Here we are, a little bit of meat left on it. Here we are. That's all the meat off the bone. Let's see if I can do it without. Let's see what we do here. So this is the cut I did on that side. I ran my knife underneath it, out, and then turned away from the fin. Separate from the fin. Ran the knife right on down here, turned it over, came back underneath to the center bone, turned the knife over again, this time cut away from me, out, down here, get past that thing, and then just start taking your swipes underneath, each time pushing your finger against, pushing the flesh, the bones against the knife, and you pull it off. Okay, now this is another fun one. You have this little notch here left in the fish. That's from when we came across and we dropped the knife down and came back. We're actually, when we come back, we're closer to the bone. So you get a little lip there. But okay, now, this is the coolest cut of it all. How do you get these belly bones out? Well, you first start a single little cut right at the top of the belly bones. And maybe take another one. This time you're cutting up against the bone. Keep cutting up against the bone. And then you do this interesting thing. You actually are pulling on the wing. Get your knife in here. And you bend your knife so that the bone's right over the back of the knife. I can only hold the wing with one finger. Here I am, running it over the back of the knife. And then that comes off. When you look really closely at it, it looks like, because you have tension on this as you're cutting, it looks like you went around each one of those bones. You get this little ripple here. And you get that because you have it under tension, and your knife is not turned up into those bones, but turned down so that the bones slide over the back and that you're cutting a little bit away from them. So that's how that works. Any questions?
Ready.
Yeah, and